You then perform the following additional activities in any desired sequence. You create a sample record for the initial sample to be delivered to your laboratory, that is, create initial sample. If you are executing a stability study with reference to a material, you can assign a stability BOM to the stability study. This step is optional, and you can assign the BOM at any point after creating the stability study. When you receive the sample in the laboratory, you confirm the initial sample. This step can also be performed at a later stage. However, you must confirm the receipt of the initial sample before you can test it. If a digital signature is required to confirm the sample drawing, the system will prompt you accordingly when you confirm the initial sample. You test the initial sample. Depending on the results of this initial test, you can decide whether or not to continue the stability study. During the initial test, you perform the following steps. You create an inspection lot for the initial sample. You perform the initial test by testing the initial sample and recording the results. You complete the initial test by making the usage decision for the relevant inspection. You specify the storage conditions under which the stability samples will be stored. When you select and assign a storage condition to the stability study, the system automatically creates a sample record for the stability sample to be stored and tested under the storage condition. You create a testing schedule to plan the frequency and scope of the stability tests. The stability study process consists of three main phases, that is, initial test, stability planning, and stability test, and several subordinate process steps, as shown in this figure. The illustrated process steps show a typical process flow. The stability study is a solution that can be flexibly adapted to suit the requirements of different users, and therefore other process variants are also possible. Many of the process steps involved in a stability study are run using the follow-up functions in the action box of the quality notification or stability study. In the process description, all steps that are triggered by follow-up functions are marked with an asterisk. You create a stability study by creating a quality notification in the system. In preparation for the receipt of samples, you create a sample record for the initial sample in the system. When you receive the sample in the laboratory, you confirm the initial sample. The confirmation must be executed before you can test the initial sample. If you are executing a stability study with reference to a material, you can assign a stability BOM to the stability study. This is an optional step. For the initial test, you manually create an inspection lot and select an inspection plan and the required inspection characteristics, that is, flexible inspection specifications, for the test of the initial sample. Then, you record results. Depending on the results of the initial test, you decide whether or not you wish to continue with the stability study. By performing the initial test, you can make sure that initial sample and subsequent stability samples, which may be created from a quantity of the initial sample, will meet your specific requirements for the stability study before you proceed with the actual stability testing phase. You then test every stability sample under one storage condition. During this process, you use the deadline monitoring functions to automatically create inspection lots for the impending test dates. You complete each individual stability test by making the usage decision for the relevant inspection lot. You complete the actual stability study after you have completed all stability tests on all test dates. When you complete the stability study, you remove the stability samples from storage.